Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name's Elsie. I've been skating for about 3.5 years. I used to figure skate before then. Today I'm going to be looking at the Moxi Lolly boot versus the Moxi Jack boot. I skated both of these boots at the skate park and I have pros and cons for both of them, so I'm going to compare them on a few factors. Firstly, weight. For this one, unsurprisingly, the Lolly's the winner. It's less padded, it's less thick, there's a lot less there. It just weighs a lot less than the Jack boot. So if weight was a huge factor for you, then the Lolly would win. On price, again, this is something you can Google really easily. The Jack's a lot more expensive. Is that price worth it? Yeah, I think so. If you can afford the extra, these have lasted me so much longer than my version of these lasted me. So the Jack's about £350 in the UK. These are custom Jacks, so they cost even more. The whole custom thing is kind of, because it's a very limited range for it to be custom. You're essentially choosing to have identical skates to someone else, but just identical skates to slightly fewer people. And why that's an extra $100 or more even now, I don't know. These cost even more, but on the basic rate Jack, the Jade Jack, it's about £350 versus about £200 for the boot alone. Big difference, but these lasted me way more than twice as long, and they're still in great condition. Now, a second thing to compare them on is stiffness. Moxi Lolly, floppy as anything, whoop, literally like a sock. Moxi Jack, got some resistance, some give. It's not the stiffest boot out there, but it's not bad. Comfort. Okay, this comfort's an interesting one. Initially, when you get the Jack, it does require a little bit of time to break in, so initially it was less comfortable than the Moxi Lolly, which kind of instantly fits your foot because it's so flexible and thin. But once you break the Jack in and you use it on your foot, it's got a really nice shearling tongue here, nice flexible and padded, so I would say the Jack wins on comfort as well. Eyelets. So here's one thing where the Jack is definitely out in front, and one of the big reasons that I bought the Jack from the Lolly. As you can see, it's got these little eyelets here, and also this thing here called a lace stabilizer. Now mine actually broke, so it's not the best example, but it still works. You just wrap the laces around it as you're tightening up, and it stops the laces shifting over the place, whereas in the Lolly it's a big problem. Often your tongue can slip all the way to the side. Getting wax laces can help with that, but it's not foolproof. And I'd say get wax laces in both of them, because wax laces are just a lot better. They just hold you a lot better. I think they last longer too. So yeah, these eyelets are so good because they don't bash down like these ones do. I've spoken about it in some other videos, but essentially after you fall on them a few times, they tend to get really flattened down, and you have to kind of use a little butter knife or something to lift them up pretty much every time you have sort of any contact with the side of your foot and the ramp, which doesn't even have to be a fall. So yeah, I got so sick of having to bring a knife, and I forgot my knife being in quite a pickle at a skate park, that this is just such a huge plus to me. They're really solid and they're not going down anytime soon. I've fallen on those hundreds of times and they all look fine. Another feature that the Jack has, that the Lolly doesn't have, is this little pulley here. It's different on the newer version. They've replaced it, instead of leather, it's like a fabric. And that might be because I've seen quite a few of these break. But it's a really good one for carrying the skates around if you don't have a skate leash, and for pulling them skates on, because sometimes you need an extra yank. But again, don't pull too hard because I have seen them break. So I'd say the increase in support, the better eyelets, and just the general sort of thickness and padding protecting you from the skate park are the general advantages of the Jack boot, whereas the additional cost and the additional weight are disadvantages. For me, I went straight to the Jack boot after the Lolly boot, simply because that's sort of what most people were skating at the time. It just felt like the lateral move. It just felt like the next step to me. It felt like that's what all the advanced skaters had. I think there's a lot more options now out there, and I'm aware of a lot more options now than when I first bought these. But yeah, I was so excited to buy these. I felt like a real big grown-up roller skater when I bought Jack boots. And yeah, they did me very well. They still do, the stitching has come apart in places and they have broken, but it's just lasted a lot better than it did on my Lollies. Alright, so that's really all I have to say when it comes to comparing the Moxi Lolly and the Moxi Jack boot. Obviously, these are just my opinions. I'm just sharing my personal experiences, so other people have had different experiences and how they feel about the two of them. I've skated a lot of other boots, so I will be reviewing those in the future and comparing them. If there's anything you want me to directly compare that you know I've skated or you've seen on my Instagram, whatever, just let me know down below. Like, comment and subscribe because it helps a lot, and I'll see you next time. Bye.